Greetings from New York. I'm Sanda Ojiambo, the CEO and Executive Director of the United Nations Global Compact. Let me begin by thanking our colleagues from UN Women and all the other partners and supporters who have joined with the Global Compact Network in India to convene this 4th Gender Equality Summit. Your involvement is so important. Our local network in India represents a vital link in the chain of more than 12,000 companies and 3,000 non-business signatories in the UN Global Compact family. All of them have made a commitment to adopt sustainable, responsible business policies under the Global Compact's 10 principles on human rights, labor, the environment, and anti-corruption. And by integrating these universal principles into their core operations and across their value chains, our participants are also contributing to the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. And while the world has made great strides towards achieving the Agenda's 17 Sustainable Development Goals, persisting inequalities threaten to derail our progress. The gender equality gap may be the most glaring one of all. A December 2019 report from the World Economic Forum found that it would take 257 years to achieve economic parity between men and women at the current rate of progress. And since then, COVID-19 has pushed this goal even further off track. The social and economic impacts of the pandemic are affecting women disproportionately around the world. We know, for example, that women represent a large majority of workers in many of the sectors hit hardest by COVID-19, including food services and retail employment. In India and elsewhere, these women now face a much higher risk of job loss than their male peers. Millions of women have also had to reduce their paid working hours to care for children and elderly or ailing family members. Some have been forced to give up their jobs entirely. In fact, since the onset of the pandemic, the burden of unpaid work has increased by an estimated 30% for women in India. This trend cannot and must not stand. Slowing down or backtracking on our progress towards gender equality is not just bad for women, it will sap the strength of entire economies and societies. It will hold the world back from meeting the Sustainable Development Goals. We need the talents, perspectives, and leadership of all women to solve the world's biggest challenges, from tackling climate change to rebuilding the economy after COVID-19. The pandemic has clearly exposed systemic barriers and entrenched gender norms. While these are not new challenges, we are called to overcome them with new urgency. The UN Global Compact is committed to answering that call. Our strategic plan for 2021 through to 2023 highlights several key shifts that would accelerate continuous, tangible progress on corporate sustainability and responsibility. Gender equality, Sustainable Development Goal number 5, is one of the pillars of the Global Compact's new strategy, and our work in this area is well established. It builds on the firm foundation of the Women's Empowerment Principles. More than a decade ago, the UN Global Compact and UN Women joined forces to launch the principles, or the WEPs as we sometimes call them, which outline the many ways in which businesses can ensure respect and support for women in their workplaces, across their value chains, and in their communities. More than 4,000 companies have embraced these principles, including nearly 200 companies in India. Business leaders who commit to the principles recognize that gender equality is not only a moral obligation, it's a business imperative. And in this decade of action on the 2030 Agenda, it is well past time for leaders in every sector to step up their ambition and make meaningful, measurable progress on gender equality. In the private sector, progress means translating the Women's Empowerment Principles from a business commitment into business practice. That is precisely the goal of Target Gender Equality, a program that we recently launched through the UN Global Compact and our local network in 18 countries. Target Gender Equality is engaging with more than 300 companies to set concrete targets for women's representation and leadership, starting at the top. To the 15 companies in India that have joined this effort, thank you for your leadership, your hard work, and your accountability. We have only just begun. The COVID-19 recovery process presents a unique opportunity to abandon business as usual once and for all. The Global Compact will do everything that we can to seize that opportunity, along with the business community, UN, and all other partners in the fight for gender equality. Today's gathering confirms that the Indian business community is well placed to lead the way. And the UN Global Compact is here to work with you side by side, uniting business for a better world. Thank you.